When you enter the field of trading, you think that there are winners and losers. You consider every trade as a battle and every profit as your victory. But a time comes when the market teaches you that the real fight is not outside but inside you. There is no winning in trading. There is no defeat either. There are only results. Results are a reflection of your discipline and your mindset. In this video, I am going to tell you the truth which I myself learned from my mistakes. If you understand this truth, then believe me, you will be able to survive in trading. Now let's get started. The biggest mistake I made when I started trading was considering every trade as a win or loss. Every time I made a profit, I felt I was right, and whenever I incurred a loss, I considered myself proven wrong. This thought was breaking me from inside, and to prove myself, I unknowingly kept repeating the same mistakes again and again. I want to tell you something simple today. There is no win or loss in trading. The only results here are the results. And these results depend only on the mindset with which you trade. If you consider every trade as a means to prove something right or wrong, then believe me, you will never be able to survive in this game for long. You have to understand that the market never judges you. Who you are doesn't matter to the market. The market will always give what is produced according to its rules. So if you have come here in a race to win, you will always hurt yourself. I have suffered this pain myself. What I want to teach you today is to look at every trading result as a lesson. Stay calm even if you make profit. Stay calm even if you suffer a loss. These results are a mirror of your mentality and discipline. The sooner you accept the fact that no trade defines your identity, the sooner you will be able to give yourself the mental freedom to trade. I know you too might be stuck in the same trap as me, trying to prove myself with every trade. But now it's time to ask yourself a question. Can I treat each outcome as a learning opportunity and move forward? Remember, unless you elevate yourself above winning and losing in trading, you will never become a true professional trader. Trading is a place where your biggest enemy is your own fear and greed. You have to promise yourself that you will accept every result exactly as it is, no more, no less. This is the first step to truly prepare yourself for trading. Now let us move a little further in this journey. Friends, when I understood that there is no win or loss in trading, there are only results. So, the next question in my mind was, where is the real challenge? And slowly I realized that the real battle was not with the charts or the markets but with my own mind. What I want to tell you is that trading is actually a mind game. The sooner you accept that it is your mindset that determines your results, the easier it will be to understand this game. Every time you place a trade, you feel a fear. The fear of losing, and when you win, then a greed arises inside you, and the greed to earn more. This fear and this greed distract you from your process. I made the same mistake in my early years. Every time I gave in to my fear, and every time I changed my decisions because of my greed, and then I realized that I can never become a good trader until I gain control over my mind. You also have to understand that with every trade, it is certain that either you will make a loss or make a profit. But this decision is taken by the market and you have no control over it. You have control only over yourself. How you think, how you react. When you learn to trade without fear and without greed, then you will become a real trader. I know it doesn't seem easy. Your mind will mislead you again and again. Seeing every red candle will scare you, and seeing every green candle will fill you with hope. But you have to promise yourself that you'll just stick to your process. If your process is right, then whatever the result, it will be good for you. You must learn to look at each trade as an event that is simply an event in itself. This incident has nothing to do with your next trade. Your next trade is as new as a new morning. If you grasp this truth, then believe me, you will break the chains of fear and greed in which you are bound today. I have no hesitation in saying that to be successful in this game, you will have to change your mind first. Not the market, not the charts, not yourself. And when you do that, you will see for yourself how simple and clean this game is. Now if you're ready, I want to show you how to start looking at this game as a place of possibility. Brothers, when I understood the game of my mind, then another truth came in front of me which changed the direction of my trading. I saw that trading is actually a game of probabilities, and unless you look at it as a game of probabilities, you will always be caught between fear and hope. This is what I want to tell you today. Every trade is just a possibility. A possibility that you will be right or you will be wrong, and this probability is not fixed in advance but works according to your rules and your process. Earlier, I also used to think that if I read a chart properly. Now, if I recognize the pattern, then this trade will surely give me profit. And when that trade went into loss, I would curse myself. I used to consider myself to be wrong. But slowly I realized that no matter how perfect every setup may seem, there is only a possibility behind it, and that possibility can lead to any outcome. You also need to develop the confidence that your success or failure does not depend on a single trade. If you control your risk and follow your process every time, you will be profitable in the long run despite occasional losses. I taught myself that the outcome of every trade is just an event. This event has no direct connection with your future. Just like if you toss a coin 10 times, sometimes it will come out heads and sometimes it will come out tails. But if the probabilities are equal, then in the long race heads and tails will come out almost equally. You need to stop thinking that your identity is determined by the outcome of each trade. You neither become great after every profit nor useless after every loss. You are just a trader who is playing the game of possibilities, and when this thought gets fully into you, then you will remove fear and anxiety from inside you, because now you will know that every trade is just another brick of that wall which you are slowly building, and if you keep building this wall in the right way, then one day this wall will become a strong support for you. So promise yourself that from now on you will treat every trade as an opportunity and judge yourself by the process, not by the results. This is the path to the peace that you need most in this game. Now I will tell you how to stop being afraid of defeat after thinking this so that you can make yourself stronger. Friends, even after I understood that every trade in trading is just a possibility, there was still some fear left somewhere inside me. Fear of failure, and to be honest, this fear kept deviating me from my process again and again. I realized that unless I remove this fear from within me, I will never be able to trade with complete freedom. This is what I want to explain to you today. Learn to let go of the fear of defeat. This fear is your biggest obstacle. When you enter into a trade and are afraid deep inside that it might result in a loss, then you have already lost. Because you cannot take right decisions while being afraid. You are not able to see the chart signals as they should be seen. You get so lost in proving yourself that you stop listening to the market. I know many of you must be feeling this fear, and why not? No one wants to suffer a loss. But you have to understand one thing. Losses are part of the game. No one can become a trader without losses. The sooner you accept this truth, the easier it will be to move forward. I told myself one day that from now on I will consider every loss as a fee. A fee that is teaching me how to get better at this game, and when I started looking at it this way, the fear went away from me because now the loss was not a defeat for me but a lesson. You too will have to create this same thinking inside you. If you have set your risk correctly, if you have followed your rules, then even if the result is loss, you did nothing wrong. It's wrong when you break the rules out of fear. Remember, fear is just your imagination. Fear is not a reality. Fear is just a part of your thinking that keeps you trapped. If you treat every loss as an opportunity to learn, you will have no reason to be afraid. I believed in myself and I believed in my process. And when you learn to trust yourself and your process, fear will never be able to touch you. This is the point from where your real journey will begin. Now, when you learn to let go of this fear, you will start looking at yourself from a new perspective, and this is the time when you will understand that the real change happens inside you and not outside. Now I will tell you how to change yourself so that you can truly become the master of this game. When I learned to leave behind the fear of losing, another truth stood before me, and that is that to win in this game, I will have to stop trying to change the market. The truth is that the market is never wrong. If anyone is wrong, it is us. And until you are ready to accept that you have to bring about change within yourself, the market will continue to teach you lessons again and again. I also used to think earlier that if the market is going against my direction, then probably the market itself is wrong. Maybe people are making wrong trades. But it was not like that. The truth was that my thinking was wrong. I was breaking my own rules. He was taking decisions based on his ego and was not ready to accept his mistakes. When I asked myself this question, what do I need to change? The market or yourself? So the answer was clear. You also have to understand that the market will always remain the same. The market doesn't care what you think. What is your position? What is your plan? The only difference is how you adapt to the reality of the market. As long as you try to change the market, you will continue to repeat the same mistakes. I remember when I started changing myself, I had to change a lot of things within me. I had to give up my fear, my greed, my haste, and my ego one by one. I told myself that my identity is not determined by the outcome of a single trade. If I have followed my process correctly, then I am right. And if I have got myself into trouble by going against the rules, then it is my fault. You will have to do the same. You have to learn to be honest with yourself. You have to ask yourself whether you are trading for the right reason. Do you stick to the rules? Are you able to accept each outcome as it is? If you examine yourself honestly, you will get a little better every day. Remember, the biggest enemy in this game is not outside but within you. And when you succeed in defeating that enemy within you, then you will become truly free. Then you will think and take decisions like a professional. Now is when you are ready to change yourself. Then you will understand that the way to win the real game is to win over yourself, and now I will tell you how with this thinking you can reach that point where victory and defeat remain just words. Friends, when I understood the way to defeat my inner enemy, I realized what is the real beauty of trading. I realized that this sport is actually a way to meet myself. Every day, every trade, every result introduced me to a new side of myself. And now as I sit in front of you today, I can say with full confidence that this is the biggest victory of this journey. To change yourself. I want you to start seeing this game the way I learned to see it. Accept each result as it is. Accept every defeat just as you accept every victory. And never measure yourself against the scales of results. You neither become great with one profit nor useless with one loss. You are the one who is honest to your process. What I want to tell you is that there is no win or loss in trading. There are only results, and these results always teach you something. When you fully embrace this truth, you will free yourself from the burden that has been on your shoulders until now. You will be free from fear. You will be free from greed, and this freedom will take you to a point where you will truly be worthy of being called a professional trader. I too had to fall many times on this path. But every time I fell, I told myself that I fell not because I lost but because I was learning. This thought kept giving me the strength to get up again, and this thought will also give you the strength to get up every time you fall. This journey has no end. It's a journey in which every day you understand yourself a little more. Let's become a little better. And when you understand yourself, you will be able to see the market as it really is. A game where no one wins, no one loses. Now all I request you to do is promise yourself that you will accept every result as it is. Neither will we be afraid of him, nor will we be proud of him. You will just learn, and when you do not stop learning, your growth will also never stop. So let's start changing our inner thinking from today. Leave the fear of defeat behind from today. From today, give up the greed for victory and tell yourself that I have not come into this game to win but to learn. And this very thought will take you to a place where victory and defeat will remain just words, and you will become truly free. Thank you.